Africans need to wake up to the idea that the world is a global village. We need to trade within one another. From fashion to food to music, to beauty products to art, there is a growing demand for products that reflect authentic African identity and creativity. We should understand the impact of entrepreneurs interacting and selling globally and how it translates into a better economy for us. Africans need to wake up. We need to participate in conversations, global conversations that are shaping how the future of humanity is. Let's start with conversations around mobile phone invention. We never participated in anything that has to do with the evolution of internet. We didn't participate in global conversations about the medical breakthroughs, curing of different incurable diseases. There are still research facilities going on across the world around how some diseases can be cured. We really often don't care about these things, and it somehow shapes the way the world sees us. When it comes to conversations around AI, the future of AI, the future of robotics, we are not saying anything. No one is talking, no government policy being initiated to either regulate or shape how Africa can be in this debate of the future of the world and humanity. And this affects the way we raise our kids, the way our kids come up to see the world. When we talk about it in terms of global trade and how Africa interacts with the world, some of us just feel like it's nothing of serious value to us. But there are few points that I feel that we need to look at to be able to understand why we need to actively participate in selling globally within ourselves and trading and understanding what the world needs. What do Europe need at this time? What do Americans need from us at this time that we can sell to them in terms of commodity? And you can see us as trading partners, not people who come to them every now when we need funds, grants, and loans. So they see us as intellectual beings who have the capacity to trade and meet up with world standard when it comes to trading. From my understanding of Africans as a people, I know we are very innovative people. Before the advent of our colonial masters, there were ways we were doing our things, and it was highly innovative. We had different inventions before the advent of colonial masters, and you might fight it. You can make your research. It's another topic of discussion entirely. Now we are incredibly innovative, resilient, and yet in our large numbers, what we basically are built for is how to target local markets, how to build innovations, sell within local audience. We really don't care about what the Indonesians need from us in terms of maybe agricultural produce, in terms of technological inventions. There are goods that could be produced cheaper across Africa because of the low cost of hiring labor force around here. So things like that could work to our advantage. Now in the US, the cost of producing a finished product will be very expensive compared to if it was produced in Africa. Data centers being done in US, if it were to be around Africa, would come at a lower cost and still remain efficient. Now Africans need to wake up to the idea that the world is a global village, right? We need to trade within one another, supply foodstuff to both Africans in diaspora and Europeans, Mexicans. We need to trade within one another. So if you're a small business owner, this is one of the things that you should have as a mindset, that beyond Africans, there are different people across the world that needs your product. There could be high standards of meeting product export regulations, but I believe that we are so innovative as a people that will not be a blocker to anybody. One of the beautiful things of our age now is that technology, digital platforms have made it really easy for people to sell products. So you can sell from your room to the US, sell to Europe and different parts of the world. And this makes it very easy for us to be able to export both our skills, local products that are unique to us, and different agricultural products that are being produced across the landscape. So we can sell to Kenyans, sell to different African countries through just social media. So when you are selling as an entrepreneur, You need this mindset shift that your content should resonate with people in the American space, people in the European space, and should be relatable to their lifestyle, why they need your product, why they need to patronize you, and what they should expect, not just to the African populace. When Africans are intentional about selling into global audience, because of the market size opens up to them, and they are able to sell to a large number of people across different continents. It forms a huge capital base for African entrepreneurs. They are able to get more capital to run their business, and which is a beautiful thing, because accessing funds as African entrepreneurs is really difficult this time around, because a lot of companies, VC funds, really find it hard funding African businesses. So we need to find alternative sources of getting capital to run our businesses. Now, one of the most solid means of getting capital is increasing sales and increasing your audience. That is, being able to sell to a large number of people who would pay you with good currencies that has a lot of value. I'll be giving few points on why African businesses specifically should be more interested in selling into global audience. One, you'll be selling into countries with higher currency, stronger currencies, and stronger economy. Now, what this does to your business is that it creates resilience for your business. When inflation happens to the cost of producing your product, you still earn in a very high currency, whereby your goods are still sold at a very high profit margin, so that your business can be resilient against whatsoever is happening to local economy where your goods are being produced. Now, it also creates a level of high capital formation, right? When you start earning in stronger currencies, you get more capital to be able to expand your business production line, to be able to hire more hands, to be able to get the raw materials at cheaper costs across African continent. So it's very expedient that as a business owner, you understand the advantage of selling to countries with stronger currencies, right? When you convert that funds to naira, it becomes a lot of money, right? And then it increases the margin of profit that you get when selling to local markets with lower currencies or similar currency value. So African businesses need to have this mindset shift that can help them get more capital to build more successful businesses, because we need more businesses as Africans. One of the other points that should fuel your interest in selling into global audiences is that if the African market is purchasing your product at 20% rate, maybe because of abject poverty ravaging some part of Africa, the global market has so much purchasing power. Take, for instance, the United States of America. They have high purchasing power because of their currency. So if you are selling at the rate of like 20% into African market, you should expect that you are going to get like 60% sales to your American audience if your product is acceptable to them. It should form a mindset in entrepreneurs to find ways to open those markets up to themselves and help their business sell more in this market, because they have more purchasing power to be able to buy from you as a business owner. One of the other factors to consider is the growing diaspora markets across different countries of the world. Now, an average African has maybe a brother or a sister living abroad somewhere. That means that the global market, the diaspora market, is becoming huge. And these similar people are our neighbors, they are our friends, they are our family members who need African products. They need African wares, they need African food, they need African creams, they need products that were of local use to them while they were around there. Now, this is a huge market across different continents of the world, and we Africans need to be able to stand up to look out for them. How do you get your product from local audience to these markets? It's a very huge market, and they also possess the same thing, high earning power. They're working, they're earning high, they'll be able to afford your product. So why struggle in a local market when you can sell easily to diaspora market, understand what they need, and they are willing to pay for your product easily? So it's something that should help a mindset shift for African entrepreneurs that are interested in gaining more capital, growing more business, and earning high. From fashion to food to beauty products and cultural experiences. So there is like a growing audience across different continents of the world where people are demanding for authentic African identity and creativity across different parts of the world. From fashion to food to music to beauty products to art, there is a growing demand for products that reflect authentic African identity and creativity. Many of them are eager to support African businesses across the world. So we need to rise up to this demand and be able to supply these things before we see Chinese or different part of the world producing our same product and meeting up with the demand. So when businesses recognize this position and they begin to position themselves to fill this demand, they are not just selling a product, right? They are building bridges with neighbors, friends, family that is across different part of the world. And there are different diaspora markets that are interested in getting real estate properties, lands, and investing heavily in African markets, its development, its future. So Africans need to stand up with integrity, with truth, to be able to attract these foreign investments into the local market, for us to be able to build the African that we so much desire and need at this time. The world is interconnected in that just one country cannot grow in isolation, right? Kenya needs products from African countries. Americans, they need different products, fish exports from the UK. They need different food items from different countries of the world. They can't survive alone. So Africans need to wake up to this call and be intentional on why they need to sell into the global audience. And we need to consciously cultivate the habit of growing our children into being interested in global conversations, into global participation intentionally, because this would boost the economy of African countries, the earning power of Africans, which needs to be intentional, because Africa currently has a large population of people who are earning very low, right? And this is causing a lot of poverty, affecting how the economy develops, how the human capital is being formed and invested in. So if we're able to attract huge capital through some of these insights and mindset shifts, we'll be able to grow a stronger economy as a continent and change how the world sees us intentionally, and create massive opportunities for Africans where people will grow up, have a lot of jobs, because there are more businesses surviving in global interactions, right? There are more businesses earning high from global exchanges. I watched a video of the UK Parliament, and they were talking about how important it is for Keir Starmer to put more focus on businesses, because businesses power the economy. So if the UK Parliament is critical about this, intentional about this, I think we should understand the impact of entrepreneurs interacting and selling globally, and how it's translating to a better economy for us as a people. And we should place more priority on it, both at government level, at personal and individual level. We should be able to embrace what would help us go faster and build a very solid economy around the continent. It helps us, it eradicates a lot of things. Stigmatization across different continents as a result of the fact that different part of Africa is in rods, right? People are finding it hard to survive, right? And the only way to survive most times is to export themselves, and which is understandable because of the condition of the continent. But with more entrepreneurs being inspired and having this mindset shift on how to grow their business with a larger audience, African entrepreneurs have a huge advantage. In summary, they have a huge advantage at their disposal where they can sell easily and earn more, produce cheaper, earn more. And it's very important that we put these factors into consideration and we get our mindset exposed to these things and we know why we need to do that.